Thank you, everyone. We're now live streaming.
Thank you, Mr. White. Good evening. Welcome, community councillors, executive leadership team and council staff to tonight's statutory meeting to elect our mayor and deputy mayor for 25-26. My name's Bradley Thomas and I have the pleasure of being the CEO of Hepburn Shire and chairing tonight's statutory meeting. In accordance with the, and that is in accordance with the Local Government Act 2020 Division 4. Can I please acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands? The Hepburn Shire Council acknowledges the Jar Jar Wurrung as the traditional owners of the lands and waters on which we live and work. On these lands, Jar have performed age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal. We recognise their resilience through disposition, and it is a testament to their continuing culture and tradition, which is strong and thriving. We also acknowledge the neighbouring traditional owners, the Wurundjeri to our southeast and the Wadawurrung to our southwest, and pay our respects to all Aboriginal people, their culture and law. We acknowledge their living culture and the unique role that they play in the life of this region. Now, could I please ask Councillor Hockey to read the councillor statement of commitment?
We, the councillors of Hepburn Shire, declare that we will undertake on every occasion to carry out our duties in the best interest of the community, and that our conduct shall maintain the standards of the Code of Good Governance, so that we may faithfully represent and uphold the trust placed in this council by the people of Hepburn Shire.
Thank you, Councillor. Tonight's meeting will be conducted in person and virtually. We have Councillor Brian Hood attending virtually. Can I just confirm you can hear and see us, Councillor?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. The meeting is being live streamed on Council's YouTube page, and you'll be able to see the proceedings of tonight's meeting, deliberations and voting, and in accordance, the meeting is being conducted in regards to Council's governance rules. Don't believe we have any apologies tonight. No. Declarations of conflict of interest pursuant to section 129 of the Local Government Act 2020 and section 7E of the Local Government, the Governance and Integrity Regulations 2020, a conflict of interest does not apply to the election of councillors to the office of mayor or deputy mayor made under section 25 or 27 of the Act. Therefore, all councillors could be the mayor or deputy mayor with no conflicts of interest. Are there any other conflicts of interest from councillors, officers of any of the other reports from tonight? No, not expect so. Right, we'll move forward into the formalities. First off, we're going to hear shortly request that the outgoing mayor, Councillor Don Henderson, wishes to say a few remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Well, it's been a very eventful year this year. We've had all sorts of difficulties with putting up rates and so on, and the financial situation isn't the best. However, as always, it's always a great pleasure to serve the community and be able to reach out and give a really good look at what council does and have to other councils and to see what they do. So it's very worthwhile. I'd like to thank our staff, because the staff put a lot of effort into looking after the mayor, especially Paulette Pleasance and Michelle Dove, who, of course, Michelle's no longer with us, but I do thank her for the work she put in early on. I also especially want to thank Councillor Leslie Hewitt, the Deputy Mayor. Certainly been able to be a big help in giving some advice and to providing information, perhaps a different slant on things to me. I'd also like to thank all of those people in the community who supported me. And there is a great deal of support out there for our council and councillors, and I felt that as mayor, a great deal of support. Lastly, I'd actually like to thank those who haven't supported me, because sometimes when things are all sailing along, you forget just where you are and where you're at. So actually, I'd like to thank those people who sometimes we think, oh, well, they're doing this or that. It reminds us not to be like them, and it makes us think how we can be better people. I thoroughly enjoyed being the mayor. And lastly, thanks go to family. And along with the mayor and some of the criticism, the family sometimes get in the middle of that, and I can't complain the way my family have supported me this year. Been actually tremendous. So thank you, especially Judy and Miranda. Having said that, thanks everybody, and that's it done. And I've already taken the step of changing the badge over, so just a councillor now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Henderson, and on behalf of the organisation, can I thank both you and Deputy Leslie Hewitt for your conduct and leadership over the last 12 months. Thank you. We'll move to item 5.1 of tonight's meeting, which is the term of the mayor. Section 26(3) of the Local Government Act states that before the election of the mayor, a council other than the Greater Geelong City Council must determine by resolution whether the mayor is to be elected for a 1-year or 2-year term. Councillors, you have an officer's recommendation before you, that recommendation being that council elects the mayor for a term of 1 year. I am in search of a motion. Councillor Henderson.
I move the council elects the mayor for a term of 1 year.
No problem. Councillor Hockey, was that you seconding?
Second, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Henderson, would you like to speak to the motion? No. Would any councillors like to speak to the motion? No. Therefore, I will put this motion to the vote. All those in favour of the motion, please raise your hand. And I declare that pass unanimously. We will now move through to the mayoral nomination and vote process. For those in the gallery today and watching for home, I will first call for nominations. A councillor can nominate themselves or another councillor, and any nominations for the officer and mayor must be seconded by a councillor as well. Once we have our nominations, if required, we will move to a vote process, and I'll further describe that. So firstly, councillors, I call for any nominations for the position of mayor. Councillor Cornish.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Tony Clark.
And do I have a seconder of that motion?
Yes, thank you.
Do you accept Councillor Clark?
I do.
Thank you. That's the first nomination. Do I have any other nominations for the position of mayor? Councillor Hood?
Yes, I nominate Councillor Leslie Hewitt.
Thank you. Councillor Hood nominates Councillor Hewitt. Do I have a seconder of that nomination? Councillor Henderson. Councillor Hewitt, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, do.
Thank you. Do I have any further nominations for the position of mayor, councillor? No further nominations, so I can note that we have 2 nominations, Councillor Clark and Councillor Hewitt. We'll now move to the voting component of the election. As we've got more than 1 nomination for mayor, the councillors present, it must be noted that all councillors, so we have all 7 in attendance, must vote. That is a requirement of the Act. Before going to a vote, we will ask each nominee, if they wish, to have up to 3 minutes to address councillors in support of their nomination. Following that addressing, we will then move through the vote process. Councillor Clark, as you were the first councillor nominated for the position of mayor, I request that you go first if you wish. And so you have 3 minutes to provide an address to councillors in support of your nomination. Councillor Clark.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the nomination. I see this as a very important role and certainly an opportunity to progress the good work that has already occurred with the council. I will be taking the role on with using the principles of transparency, openness, and certainly through which I hope I have demonstrated clearly in my actions already today. I hope they speak for themselves. There have been a number of issues which have been raised in terms from various sources around my ability around time and perhaps experience. I'd just like to perhaps address some of those. I will be continuing to work. That's a function. I need to obviously continue to raise income for my future. So I'll be doing that. I have, however, stepped back from a number of personal roles as chair for the Engagement Institute, which I'm no longer. I've been stepping off another board. So I believe, and I've also indicated to another board that I will be placing this as a priority, as it needs to be a priority. In terms of my experience, yeah, I have obviously the experience I have in the last 12 months, but also particularly in terms of leadership and governance experience. I think I bring a lot to the role. I have led as president of a school council which had merged 2 primary schools, which was certainly a challenging role. I've been chair of the Engagement Institute for the last 5 years, where we've turned the organisation around from 2.9 million to 6.5 million, grown the membership from 6,000 to 16,000. And I'm currently, which I will be continuing, a non-executive director on the board of the State Trustees of Victoria, an organisation which has a $290 million operating budget and manages $2.4 billion worth of assets. And the other thing which I will also be continuing is I'm an accredited facilitator of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, of which I think is a great relationship and provides me the opportunity to feed back in to council and our broader community around some really positive governance initiatives. So in summary, I'm seeking the support of councillors. I will run a very open, transparent and honest approach, and I'm very excited about the opportunities that the hard work of the last 12 months have done in moving forward with some very positive and constructive initiatives moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hewitt, 3 minutes if you wish.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Colleagues, first of all, thank you all for the work that you've each contributed over the past year. This role, as you know, demands time, judgment and resilience, and I do value, whatever happens, the commitment all of you bring. But with that in mind, and with a clear sense of the responsibilities ahead, I've accepted the nomination for Mayor. I bring experience that I believe is needed right now. I've previously served as Mayor during the first year of COVID, and I've held governance and chair roles outside local government, including with the former Hepburn Health. These roles have given me a strong grounding in how to run meetings that are orderly, constructive and fair, and in particular, a leadership style that local government requires. It's different from other boards, and it helps to know that difference from experience, not just theory. I'm also deeply connected across our shire. While my home is in Dalesford, my decisions on council have never been confined to one locality. In a non-subdivided council, our responsibility is to the whole shire, and I've consistently demonstrated a shire-wide perspective, whether that's been popular locally or not. Feedback from my previous mayoral term was that I was fair, thoughtful and balanced, and I've always taken that to heart. It's a style of leadership that I believe our community expects from all of us. Another important aspect of this role is external engagement, and I've worked hard to build strong, respectful relationships across local government and with representatives from both sides of politics. Hepburn Shire has a long tradition of valuing non-partisan leadership, and I share that value. My only loyalty is to the residents and ratepayers of this shire. These relationships matter, not symbolically but practically, because our progress often depends on grant funding and constructive advocacy. Looking ahead, we have a clear council plan, and I'm committed to delivering that with you. At the same time, we must be realistic. The financial environment will require us to make difficult decisions and clear priorities. Not every project can move at once, and some choices will disappoint people. That's the nature of responsible governance. What we can control is whether these decisions are made transparently, consistently, and with the long-term interests of the whole shire in mind. I am prepared to make these decisions, and just as importantly, to explain them openly and respectfully to our community. If supported as Mayor, my focus will be on steady leadership, clear communication and a genuine team approach where every councillor's contribution is valued and the whole Shire remains at the centre of our thinking. Thank you for considering my nomination.
Thank you, councillors, for that. I will now put the vote. I will ask that the vote be by hand, please. I remind you that all councillors must vote, and in the event of a candidate receiving an absolute majority of 4 votes, given we've got 7 councillors and only 2 nominees, that's highly likely, at least 4, that candidate will be declared to be elected as Mayor. Councillors, I will first ask in order of nominations. So councillors, I now ask for a vote on the first nomination of Councillor Clark. Can I have a show of hands, all those in favour of Councillor Clark being elected to the position of Mayor? That is Councillor Clark, Councillor Cornish, Councillor Hockey and Councillor Drylee. That is 4 and therefore elected Mayor. So therefore with other councillors voting for Councillor Hewitt were Councillor Hood, Hewitt and Henderson. With a 4-3 majority, I now declare and say congratulations to Councillor Clark. It's doing it straight. Councillor Clark, happy for you to say a few words if you so wish.
Look, I would just like to thank. First of all, I'd like to thank Councillor Henderson and Councillor Hewitt over the last 12 months. It has been a challenging 12 months. And I want to acknowledge that the great work that you both have done, together with also my colleagues and my peers who have been a part of that process. I'd just like to thank the community for their support for me, and in terms of becoming elected. I'm really looking forward to the next 12 months of working positively, constructively and openly. Reflecting on the current environment, it is challenging. We have sustainability challenges in terms of financial pressures. We have, and all government levels are facing that, federal, state and local. We're experiencing cost shifting, and we're also experiencing increased community and ratepayer expectations. And I think that I'm really keen and very excited, looking forward to some of the challenges which we're going to have in terms of our ageing infrastructure, maintaining infrastructure, and of course we need new infrastructure. So working, how do we balance those out? I'm also very excited about working with everybody as Mayor. I'm excited, looking forward to robust and challenging conversations, but very respectful conversations in the chamber and out of the chamber. Working with the community, looking at how we can engage our community in a much more structured and strategic way, which will help guide and deliver a really embraced outcome. And finally, I would like to, Melanie, where are you? Yeah, I just want to thank you. I did it in front of the Prime Minister. I'll do it again. I love you and thank you so much for your support. There's no way known I could do anything like this without your support. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody else. I'm very much excited and looking forward to the next 12 months.
Thank you. As tradition here at Hepburn, I'll make the offer to other councillors to, if they wish to offer congratulations to the Mayor, I'll move through the room. So, Councillor Cornish.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations, firstly, Councillor Clark. Look forward to working with you for the next 12 months. And please trust that you will have my support, as you will everybody else, wherever you need it. And that's important to all of us and also to yourself. I look forward to a new era, I say, in a sense. Every mayor does their mayoralty in a different way. Councillor Clark will also do it in his way, and I will respect that and accept that. And new ideas are always welcome. Every mayor's had new ideas and they've always been welcome. And it's just a new set of ideas, and we must all embrace it. So again, congratulations, and you will have my full support.
Councillor Hockey.
Yes, congratulations, Councillor. And I think it's a huge opportunity for the council. Just take a brief look at Tony's resume on LinkedIn, and it's an extraordinary depth depth and breadth of experience there that will only improve the council. Terrific outcome. Congratulations.
Councillor Dryling.
Yes, I'd reiterate that too in terms of Tony's broad-ranging experience in governance areas and community depth of experience as well with the Scouts and other groups. And he has shown his commitment, I think, both by coming to council, which we do acknowledge is somewhat new, but I think we can all be supportive in helping you through this 12 months as well with our own experiences. And I want to acknowledge Councillor Hewitt's ongoing contribution in that area too. And I look forward to, it's going to be a challenging next couple of years with some of the decisions we are facing, but a sense of renewal and change is sometimes what's needed, and I appreciate that is partly what you bring.
Congratulations, Councillor Clark. I'm sure you'll do an excellent job, and I look forward to working with you over the next year. As Councillor Dyer has indicated, there are a number of challenges that I hope Council will be able to face together.
Yeah, thank you. Well, congratulations, Mayor. Whilst I actually didn't nominate you, I do support you and I will support you. After all, I remember having conversations with you, encourage you to run for council because I believed that you had necessary skills and ability to be a councillor. So I can hardly go back and say, well, I don't think you can do the job, because I do think you can, and I know you will. And one thing about it is, to me, is important is loyalty. And you've been elected to be the mayor, and you'll have my loyalty and you'll have my respect, and I will do everything I can to support you in your role.
Thank you. Thank you. And Councillor Hood.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Congratulations, Councillor Clark. You're taking on a huge role of responsibility, and you should be honoured to be in that position. The many various challenges facing council are well documented and well known, and obviously in this leadership role, it will partly be on your shoulders to help provide that leadership role, particularly in building greater trust and confidence in the community that they hold with council. So it's going to be a big task and a big year, and I wish you all the best in it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And on behalf of the organisation, can I say congratulations as well, and we look forward to working with you almost every day, I would imagine, over the next 305 as we continue the great work for Hertfordshire. So congratulations. Thank you. Councillors, that'll bring us now to item 5.4, which is the term of Deputy Mayor. As similar, Council must determine by resolution whether the Deputy Mayor is to be elected for 1 year or 2 years. Have a recommendation for you that Council elects the Deputy Mayor for a term of 1 year. I am in search of a motion. Councillor Hockey?
Yes, happy to move that motion that Council elects the Deputy Mayor for a term.
And Councillor Clark, are you seconding that?
Yes, happy to do that.
Thank you. Councillor Hockey, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you.
Would any councillor like to speak to the motion? No, well, I will then put that vote. Councillors, can I put the motion to the vote? All those in favour, please raise your hand. That is declared unanimously. 5.5 nominations for the Deputy Mayor will follow the same process for the Mayor. I'll first call for nominations. Councillors, do we have any nominations for the role of Deputy Mayor? Councillor Clark?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councillor Cornish.
Councillor Clark nominates Councillor Cornish. Is that seconded? Councillor Henderson? Councillor Cornish, do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Do I have any other nominations for the role of Deputy Mayor?
I'd like to nominate Deputy Mayor.
Yourself?
Yep.
Yep. Councillor Dryly nominates Councillor Dryly, which is allowed. Do I have a seconder of that nomination? Councillor Hood. Given you nominated yourself, I believe you'll accept the nomination.
Thank you.
Do I have a third or any other nominations for the role of Deputy Mayor? No. Therefore, I will also allow 3 minutes for the Deputy Mayor role to present. So I will once again go in the order of nominations presented. So I will ask Councillor Cornish to speak for up to 3 minutes.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Firstly, I believe that I would be good support for the Mayor. Just a little bit of, and councillors actually, the councillors need a lot of support and understanding. Time and respect, it's very important. I'm now in I've done 12 years as a councillor, 1 year as Mayor in the past. Just a little bit of background knowledge, I won't bore you too much with it. I was a registered nurse for over 20 years in the areas of spinal intensive care, working with Professor Statutory. We set up rehabilitation for TAC patients in Melbourne. So intensive care was my specialty. I was 32 years in business, also a graduate of Australian Institute of Company Directors. Arts and culture are very important to me. I was a potter and an artist in my early days, something I haven't taken back up for many years now, but hopefully it might come out one day and I'll do it again. I bring with me, with those qualifications, a wealth of knowledge and support for our Mayor and Council. I'm very comfortable in my role as councillor and very comfortable here at Hepburn. Staff and councillors have been very welcoming to me. I haven't lived in Hepburn Shire for very long, just a few years, but a visitor for a good 8 or 9 years prior to living here. I have an approach that is municipal wide. I am not centric to where I live. And also I believe it's extremely important to look at every issue taking into consideration governance, policy, the law. I always took a very keen interest in policy as a councillor in another municipality, and it does come fairly easy to me now, but it took a lot of work and I'm prepared to put the work in. I believe I'll be a good support for everybody, and I look forward also to supporting the Mayor, the councillors, and importantly our CEO and staff. There must be a trust level with our CEO, and I have that. I believe I have a good relationship with everybody here, and I can only nurture that in the future. So hopefully we'll work, if I'm successful, we will work very well together for the betterment of our whole community. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Dryling.
Thank you, colleagues, for the opportunity to speak. I'm putting my hand up for Deputy Mayor because I believe I can offer the Mayor practical, valuable support and recent governance insight as a former Mayor. I can also help this councillor group navigate some of the tough realities ahead, especially the ongoing financial viability, and help address and sensitively engage in communicate important local issues with residents. I really enjoy being out and about, meeting and listening to local people across the Shire. I also believe that we need renewal and a leadership style that not only delivers on the promises in the council plan, but which also leaves the Shire fairer, kinder and more climate ready than we found it. I also believe in our local people, this beautiful and special place and region we call home on Jarrah country, and I respect the care for country and culture our traditional owners have fostered for millennia, and particularly acknowledge now the importance of treaty. We're heading into an era of intense heat, floods, fires and storms. No community is immune, but the impacts are not evenly shared. The people who are doing it tough are the ones who get hit first and the hardest. And local government sits right in the middle of all that. We run the halls and libraries that can become cool and safe places in a heat wave. We maintain the roads and drains that are tested in a storm. We help connect people to a valuable array of services when they're recovering and exhausted. And it also means using our voice collectively to argue for the resourcing that local government needs to do this work properly. In that context, I see the role of Deputy Mayor as being about three things: stability, collaboration, and just governance. Stability means backing the Mayor and helping keep our decision-making calm and predictable, especially when we're dealing with climate-related shocks, cost of living pressure, housing instability, and community frustration. I've previously served as Mayor, as I said. I understand the workload, the scrutiny and the responsibility that comes with the leadership, and I'm comfortable stepping into the chair or represent council when needed and acting in a firm, transparent and fair way. Collaboration means being a bridge between councillors, between council and community, and between different towns and hamlets. We bring different perspectives, but we share responsibility for the whole Shire. The Deputy Mayor can quietly help continue to build a culture of mutual trust and inclusion, where we listen properly, debate respectfully, and stand behind our decisions together, celebrate local abundance and sufficiency. Just governance means putting fairness at the centre of how we prioritise and respond to risk. That means asking every time we make a big decision, who benefits, who is exposed, and who might be left
15
behind.
seconds.
Most of you know my track record on climate, community resilience and inclusion. I've worked across the Shire with various organisations. The elected Deputy Mayor, my commitment is simple. I'll support the Mayor, respect each of you, support the implementation of our council plan and help ensure that our response to local issues is practical, empathetic and considered, financially responsible and grounded in justice and the best interests for all people and the planet.
Thank you, councillors. Following that, we will now move to the voting, which will also be by hand, acknowledging that all councillors must vote. Councillors, by raising your hands, I now ask for a vote on the first nomination of Councillor Cornish. Please raise your hand for the role of Deputy Mayor. That's Councillor Clark, Cornish, Hockey, Henderson and Hewitt. Therefore has a majority of greater than 4 votes. Councillors Hood and Dryling, obviously for Councillor Dryling. I therefore declare that the Deputy Mayor for the term of 25-26 is Councillor Shirley Cornish. Congratulations. Councillor Cornish, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Bit overwhelmed, really.
You'll be able to sleep now.
Oh, I know. Just one of those things I think that plays on your mind. Look, I am honoured to accept the role of Deputy Mayor of Hepburn Shire Council. Thank you to my fellow councillors for your confidence in me. It is a responsibility I take seriously and one I will approach with commitment, integrity and a genuine passion for our community. I want to express my appreciation to the former Mayor Councillor Don Henderson and Deputy Mayor Councillor Hewitt. Councillor Henderson's strong leadership and Councillor Hewitt's thoughtful, community-minded approach have set a strong example. I have learned a great deal from both of them, and I'm grateful for the time, wisdom and heart they have dedicated to our Shire. In my capacity as Deputy Mayor, I will support the Mayor, Councillor Tony Clark, councillors and staff, and focus on progressing our strategies, initiatives and policies, encouraging a collaborative approach, inclusive of a community and our shared values. Thank you again, and I look forward to a very positive year ahead.
Okay. Once again, councillors, if you wish, will make congratulatory remarks. Councillor Clark.
I'd like congratulations, Shirley. Very much looking forward to working with you. Certainly you do bring a wealth of experience from a different place as well, which I think adds immense value to the councillor group. So congratulations and looking forward to the times ahead.
Thank you.
Councillor Hood.
Congratulations, Councillor Cornish.
Thank you.
Councillor Hockey.
Yes, congratulations, Councillor. I really value sitting next to you and your straight shooting, so learning a lot. Thank you. Congratulations.
Councillor Dryling.
Yes, congratulations, Councillor Cornish. I too appreciate your forthright and manner. We don't always see eye to eye on issues, but that's what local democracy is all about. And I respect that we can work through those matters as we see fit.
Congratulations, Councillor Cornish. And again, like with Councillor Clark, I look forward to working through some very difficult issues with the best interests of the whole community at heart.
Well, congratulations, Councillor Cornish. I'm sure we'll continue to have our conversations, and as much as you might have learned something from me, I certainly learned a lot from you as well. And it's always good to have a sounding board. Different people have different perspectives on life. I don't know if I should be worried about this, but I often find myself in furious agreement with you. And that can be a bit of a problem, but I don't think so. And look, I look forward to seeing you out and about in the community. I've only known you a relatively short time, but I can tell you I'm a very astute judge of character, and I believe that you will be a very good deputy mayor, and as you have been a councillor. So congratulations.
Thank you, councillors, and also congratulations, Councillor Cornish. Look forward to the next 12 months. Thank you, councillors. That brings the end of our voting process. We've got one last report ahead of us tonight, which is councillor representation on committees, boards and external bodies. We will bring up a version of the motion, I believe, for councillors. Just noting that this report's been prepared and on an annual basis following the appointment of the Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Council reviews the councillor representation on advisory committees, community reference groups, boards and external bodies that council represents during the year. It should be noted that we are undertaking a review of how our community engagement is undertaken, including our community advisory committees. We've got some workshops with staff councillors and members of those advisory committees even next week. And so the officer's recommendation before you tonight is slightly different to as printed in the agenda. Councillors, it is on the screen and available for those at home. It will be available on our website, and that being that council notes that the appointments to council's advisory be deferred until the review of the committee has been completed, and appoints the following councillors to the listed committees, boards and external bodies. Moving through the various items, I'll go through the major ones, being the Municipal Association Victoria, Councillor Tim Dryley, Substitute Councillor Shirley Cornish, World Heritage Listing in the Victorian Goldfields region, Councillor Don Henderson, Greater Ballarat Alliance of Council, the Mayor, ZNet Community Roundtable, Councillor Tim Dryley, Audit and Risk Committee, being Councillors Brian Hood and Mayor, our Council Community Asset Committees, the Creswick Museum Community Asset Committee, Councillor Pack Hockey, the Dean Recreation Reserve and Tennis Court Community Asset Committee, Councillor Don Henderson, Drummond Hall Community Asset Committee, Councillor Pack Hockey, Glenwood Recreation Reserve Committee Asset Committee, Councillor Leslie Hewitt, the Lee Midland Home of Bottles Community Asset Committees, Councillor Pat Hockey, and the Lineville Hall Community Asset Committee, Councillor Brian Hood. We have a vast number of DECA committees of management with councillors appointed, and just note that following tonight's meeting and councillors being appointed, we will write to each of those committees. That's the officer's recommendation before you. I am in search of a motion. Councillor Hockey?
Yeah, happy to move that motion as read.
As read. Anyone as a seconder of that motion? Councillor Henderson? Thank you. Councillor Hockey, would you like to speak to the motion?
Not only that, I really appreciate those opportunities to get into the various nooks and crannies of this.
Councillor Henderson?
Yeah. Yes, these committees, whilst we may have elected a mayor and deputy mayor, these committees are at the coalface of our operations in the community, and they do such a wonderful job, especially the committees that are in charge of our assets, so our assets committees. And I really do appreciate the work they do. And I think that to gloss over that would be doing them less justice than deserve. So I applaud those committees, and for those that I'm on, I really will give my all to it. So, thank you.
Any other councillors like to speak to the motion? No, therefore I'll put the motion to the vote. All those in favour of the motion? I declare that passed unanimously. Thank you, councillors. There being no other items on tonight's agenda, I will close this meeting at 6:40 p.m. Can I thank those in attendance and those watching at home, and obviously wish our councillors and particularly our new mayor and deputy mayor all the best of luck for the next 12 months. And also note that our next standard meeting of council will be next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And agenda items will be out shortly. So thank you, councillors and community. Chris, Mr. White, if you could please cancel the live streaming now and let us know when successful.
I will do. I'll mute the room and come back here in a second.